Hi, what if I told you that the next big thing in the AI search did not come from the Silicon Valley, but from one person's bedroom in Mumbai? Meet SciraAI, India's perfect answer to Perplexity. Built by a 22-year-old boy in Mumbai and is powering more than 1 million searches a month. No investors, no fancy teams, no offices. Just pure code, community, and a mission to make AI searches open source to everyone. In this video, we dive deeper into SciraAI, a small company that is taking on the giants from the AI landscape. We'll also look at why this could be your next favorite search engine. Hi, this is Ashish here and welcome back to Coders Academy. It all started with a weekend project. Zaid Mukaddam, frustrated with the paywalls of the closed platforms like Perplexity, launched a project called MiniPerplx, a lightweight open source tool. And the response? Explosive. From a few hundred users to 16,000 overnight. And now 60,000 monthly active users and 8,000 GitHub stars. Without further ado, let's jump into today's video. Here is the latest article covered by the Analytics India magazine. It was started by Zaid Mukaddam, a solo founder. When Mukaddam officially announced the project on X, it instantly gained a lot of attention. So much so that it was liked by the official account of Shad CN and the Vercel CEO. So he started building the platform on top of Vercel's SDK, and it also makes use of frameworks like NextJS, Tailwind CSS, Shad CN for UI, OpenWeather and others. The platform utilizes multiple AI models to answer the queries, and it uses Tavily's API search to search the web for various topics. It goes further to say that it uses Exa AI, a platform that pulls and analyzes the content from any URL using a live crawling feature and searches for the information across the academic papers and YouTube videos. Okay, and SciraAI also extracts the information from social media platforms like X and Reddit, providing detailed insights. Recently, SciraAI was accepted into Vercel AI's accelerator program. Now we'll take a look at the demos on SciraAI. Once we log in, our first prompt here is about the comparison of GDP growth rate for China and US for the year 2025. So it has started with the thinking process where it's trying to collect the information from all the available sources and tools and presenting a response. So we'll allow it to do that. While it's doing that, let's take a look at the reasoning process. So it starts by understanding the prompt first. Then it gets a detailed information or general information about the economic data using a web search tool. Then it has guidelines for web search. So it has to make use of 3 queries, minimum 3, maximum 6, specify the year or use latest in the queries, use news or finance as a topic, then put the values with the relevant parameters, identify the domains. These are the required parameters for web search. What are the queries? Maximum results, topics, search depth, including domains and excluding domains. So these are the parameters using which it is going to perform the web search. Now I need to create at least 3 queries, make them specific. So what it's trying to do is it's trying to understand similar queries of the prompt. So it has constructed 5 such similar queries which are similar in nature to the prompt that we gave. Now that is 5, which is within its range. And the maximum results, the default value is going to be 10. So this is the final schema that it is going to have. And the topics. Search depth is going to be advanced. Include domains from the worldbank.org. There is no exclude domains. And the function call would be to do a web search using these parameters. So after running the tool, I need to compose a response that's informative, detailed in markdown format. These are the guidelines for the response. Use markdown, straightforward answer, citations and forbidden sections should not be there. And the final structure would be as follows. Give detailed, straightforward answer using markdown. So this is the reasoning process. Let's take a look at the response here. So for some reason we don't see the first image, but there are other images that it has captured, and this is the response that it has come up with. So GDP's growth rate is 5.4% along with the source there, which is from the World Bank docs, and the United States growth rate is 1.2%. So here is the final compilation in a tabular format with United States and China, the actual numbers and the projected growth numbers along with the sources and citations. And as you can see, this is all in the markdown format. So now let's take a look at what was the final reasoning it did to arrive at this response. The reasoning section, if you look, the first thing is trying to understand the prompt in depth, which is about the GDP growth rates for US and China. And it is trying to understand that query further down. What is the key information required in the prompt? For the US, the result should mention about US's GDP growth numbers, the global growth for the US deceleration, and some other information. You can pause the video and go through it. Similarly, it has identified the key information for China and then what is the final comparison between the two. Now, based on that, the structure of response should be, it should start with a straightforward answer, markdown as the answer, and no prohibited sections. Then key points would be the growth rates for US and China. Now compile the comparison. So as of 25, it has to give you the comparison. Now the response guideline, it should be long and detailed, address the question specifically, use of markdown, and the final response along with its formatting. Second prompt, we are having a prompt here which talks about the biases in the AI generated responses for the tech sector in 2025. Okay, this is about specifically the tech jobs. So it has started the process of gathering the information, understanding the prompt. So let's take a look at the reasoning process. As before, it is first trying to understand the query and the prompt, and then it's saying that okay, the tool has to give an answer immediately. It's non-negotiable. The query is about analyzing the biases in the AI responses, specifically about the tech jobs in 2025. And then what are the available tools it can use? It can make use of web search. Tools like movie or TV search, not relevant. Retrieval about specific URLs, there are no URLs given. MCP search, not relevant. Weather data, not relevant. Find a place on the map, nearby places, no, not relevant. Translation, no, it's not about translation. Tracking of flight, irrelevant. Date and time, only if it is asked for date and time. Hence, it arrived that okay, web search is the appropriate tool to answer this query. Now, these are the guidelines for web search. Should have minimum 3 queries, maximum 6. Year, array format. Then what are the possible queries like before, which are similar to the one which is asked. So it has come up with 5 possible options here. Then it is further taken down to identify the parameters required for web search. So these are the queries, you can go through it. So in the meantime, we already have got a response. So it has started with identifying what are the potential biases in the responses. You can pause the video and go through it in detail. So it's talking about it's predominantly male dominated area, and it depends on the training process being done by the person. Let's take a look at how it has composed the final response. So as usual, it has started with the analysis of the prompt. Then web search is what it will use to answer this query. It constructs a response structure along with citations, markdown format, languages, prohibited sections, and what should be the length of the response. You can pause and read that in detail. Language should be of user's language and length should be of informative and detailed. Now, what are the key elements from the query and what are the from the search? What did it get? Intermediate structure for the response, straightforward answer with detailed sources, and from that it has constructed a final response outline. It should have introduction, examples, and suggestion for correction in the markdown format. So if you can pause and read that, that is the information it has given us. So it is started with the analysis of the biases. So that's what the first section here is about, followed by the examples from this recent reports. That is what it has mentioned in the response next. and then finally the suggestions for corrections. If you look, that is what it was asking in the final response. Okay.